Hi, I'm Delusion Dispeller, and as I talked about on my first video, there's going to be some changes coming to the Delusion Dispeller channel. First of all, thanks to Dr. George Simon, and thanks to one of my viewers who pointed me in that direction of his teachings and his viewpoints on aggressive personalities, etc. I'm going to switch my viewpoint also because I do agree with what he has found upon a lot of scientific discoveries and such. So, without further ado, here we go. This man, George Simon, Dr. George Simon, has an interesting take on why narcissists do what they do, as well as explaining specifically about some of the traits in psychology that you see in aggressive personalities. He states that behaviors are actually automatic and habitual, rather than like a protection mechanism or a defense mechanism against like insecurities or inner shame or inferiority complex or whatever, which is what I always was saying, and I'm not going to say anymore. Instead of believing the view that narcissists became as they are due to childhood traumas, this Dr. Simon, shares that narcissists or aggressive personalities were basically told they were too good. You know, basically given accolades for all their wonderful gifts and attributes. And on the other hand, when they did altruistic things such as being kind to other people or sharing with other people, sharing with other children, etc., they were ignored, and not as much attention was given to the altruistic motives and the kindness and the goodness and all the good emotional outreaches that were seen versus I'm a great singer, I'm a pianist, I'm this, I'm that, I'm great with money, I'm good in school, whatever. So the emphasis was put in the wrong place with many of these children. He also teaches that children need to be raised with a knowledge of needing to have empathy, accept responsibility for their actions, tone down the grandiose thinking, because every child that is born into this world at one point has to learn that they are not the center of the universe. And as we know, narcissists are simply grown-up people that are children in grown-ups' bodies that did not learn that they are not the center of attention, or they have to be the most important or most noticed character in any situation. And the child needs to be given proper credit for his or her talents. And also a balance of that credit that they get. They have to be taught that it's because of a higher power, as I would say God or Jesus or whatever your higher power is. It is because of somebody outside of themselves that they are gifted with such talents. Because as we know also, narcissists do not usually acknowledge somebody as being more in control of things than they are. And if they do acknowledge that, they usually have a fear of that being, or they don't give it the proper respect that it deserves. Okay. Dr. Simon also purports that the confidence that is based on a person's own abilities is what causes the narcissist to become grandiose or vain in their thinking. Because the narcissist has such a strong belief in his or her amazing abilities, when something goes wrong, he blames others. In other words, he feels like, I can't possibly have any flaws in me, so therefore somebody else must have caused me to be like this, to act like this, to talk like this, to do these things I do. He wants to flip the blame onto somebody else. Throughout this video series, you will hear me giving credit to Dr. Simon. These are not my original views at all. It is simply that Dr. Simon's views have now become so impressive to me and so logical to me that I am adapting them as my own views and changing my mind about some of the things that I've been teaching all along. So I'm not beyond admitting that I didn't have the correct information, and I believe at this point I do have the correct information, that narcissists are indeed predatory, many of them, and that it is not an accident or a cover-up for their insecurities or their inferiorities. They are just vicious people, plain and simple, many of them. So, stay tuned. I do want to say that he does not classify narcissists as the same as like a psychopath or sociopath would be. However, I see a very fine line between the two of them personally. So I'm just going to classify narcissists, the vicious kind of narcissists, as the ones that perpetrate the most damage. So stay tuned for part 2. Thanks.